at the beautiful Orchid.
Yeah, what is it called?
Wild Orchid?
Wild Orchid.
Wild
yeah.
Orchid.
Wild Orchid Resort.
Yeah, we're just going to sit here and eat. And,
Eat, yeah. Now you carried the conversation.
oh boy. Yesterday we videotaped outside of the street corner blues bar where I go to play with the house band. I play harmonica and sing a little bit, and they've got a great house band. Unfortunately, the microphone that my cousin used, he's got great equipment, but that microphone picked up a little too much sound, so we're having to redo it here in the daylight.
Yeah, the fact of the matter was I reset the camera and forgot to move the camera input to a low impedance, so the attenuation was set on 0 to 9, so when the microphone hit it, it just destroyed the sound completely.
Alright.
Hard to fix in an edit.
I have no idea what you were just talking about, but the sound was bad.
Hey, you have an idea about that one?
Yeah, the sound was bad.
It sounded like crap.
Yeah.
He is a musician, I would say, and he is...
I would say, I like that qualifier. I would say. He's a musician, I would say.
Well, we'll let the audience determine that, but I think...
You could have just said he's a musician and left it at that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right.
But anyway, the music was good.
Yeah.
The later part of the video is good. And if you're local here, you should definitely take a look at going over to the blues bar. A bunch of guys just coming together.
Yeah,
The band that is playing there, the house band,
Right.
what are they called?
the house band.
Yeah, but they have a name.
Yeah.
Remember in the old ancient history when they were playing? I think it's like the third generation of this band. Manny was the band leader.
Yeah, he still is.
And he still is the band leader. Here comes our food. That's great. That's great.
Fries.
Right?
Yep, thank you. That's for...
Extra plate.
Yes. Oh yeah.
There you go.
You think it's enough?
Here, I'll just take my half.
I keep my half here.
Yep, and then I'll take a few fries.
Enjoy.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you. There you go.
Yeah. So don't be giving the food away. I'm paying for this.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm paying for this. My cousin. This is my cousin, by the way. I grew up with him as a child, and then moved to the United States when I was 11, and you moved to the United States when you were
38.
So I didn't see much of him between
Yeah,
those years.
Between those years, I think when you were in your teens, 16, 17, 18, something, you came over for a year.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, no, in my 20s, I came over for a year.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was that when you brought Ludwig?
Yeah,
Drum
yep,
set and
yep,
all that?
yep.
Okay.
Yep. I was like 21, 22 years old.
Oh, you didn't look that old.
I've always looked very young for my age,
Yeah.
and
It's amazing. He's 90, so.
I'm celebrating. Well, tomorrow I'll be turning 90 tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't want to get ahead of myself. No, but I've really looked forward to not only visiting my cousin here, but one of my very best friends is part owner in the street corner blues bar, and plays with the band. And well, my cousin Shell is helping me set up a YouTube channel. I box. He's been taking a lot of footage of me training, and I've been training really hard with a personal trainer, I was really looking forward to that, you know, having a one-on-one, because I love my home club, but there's basically only one coach and there's a lot of guys, so yeah, I don't get that personal attention that I get here. And he's been working my buns off. I've never worked so hard in my life,
Right.
because he doesn't stop.
Yeah, and look what happened to you.
Yeah, and look what happened. Well, I started out with this. This is bursitis, right? And I'm supposed to spar tomorrow. And
Yeah.
can you see it?
Yeah, right there you see it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, they call it Popeye elbow. I don't know if you can
Popeye?
see it, but yeah, it's the bursitis. Anyway, this sac that fills up with fluid, and then now I'm reading online that I've got to rest it. No repetitive action with my elbow. Kind of cuts out boxing.
Is this repetitive?
It has been. I've been working my ass off for 2 weeks, and I'm supposed to spar tomorrow, and I'm not supposed to have any kind of a contact with my elbow, nor any repetitive motion. I'm reading
Or
now.
impact, yeah.
Or impact. So I'm really bummed out, because I was looking forward to sparring, and I was looking forward to all the great training I'm getting at the DMX gym right here in Angeles.
Yeah.
And my coach, Joel, is a great coach, but,
Yeah.
but now I realize if I keep doing this, it's probably going to get bigger
And worse.
and worse, and if I'm unlucky, it'll get infected, and that'll be really bad. So now I'm bummed out.
All right.
2 weeks of training. Maybe I'll just spar tomorrow. Just jab. Just work my jab. Yeah, I'll take you with one arm tied behind my back. There. Yeah. Yeah. Just block and jab. Anyway, we'll see.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, so we're setting up this YouTube channel. I do stand-up comedy. We'll see if I keep boxing, or when I can go back to it. Once this thing, it's supposed to go away if you rest it for 2 to 3 weeks.
Right.
It's supposed to go away on its own, unless it gets infected.
Right. You started having it back home before you got here.
Yeah, it was like 2 days before I left. I've been here almost 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
And so it probably hasn't, and it hasn't gotten better, and that's probably because I've been doing the boxing.
Right. Oh yeah.
So that's why I've got to make the decision now to not do that. I just have
Yeah.
to play poker instead.
Yeah. Well.
We got a nice poker room here.
Yeah. Well, they got several poker rooms. You have
Yeah.
a casino back up there. I
Yeah.
think you can play there too.
But I love playing the music.
Yeah. The sun is setting. Is about what? It's about 4 o'clock. I would say.
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's actually a nice resort. Talk about that. You know. This is where I spend my wedding night. So.
This is where you lost your virginity?
Yeah.
How old
Yeah.
were you?
59.
59?
Yeah.
It's a little young, but
Yeah.
what the heck?
They're too young for that.
Wasn't your first marriage.
No, it was not my first marriage. We were talking about, you know, how we grow up together, and he moved to the United States. I moved later
From Sweden.
from Sweden to U.S. 1992 permanently. I think we got there in 1987 the first time. Spent a month there. Then I had a little business, so I was going back and forth for a couple, 3 years. But the point is, with us too, we lived in the same country, but he lives on the West Coast and I live in Florida. So we rarely ever see each other at that point.
Right.
Now, since I moved to the Philippines,
We see each other all the time.
we see each other all the time. And it was like coincident. He calls me one day 4 years ago, and he says, "Hey, by the way, where do you live? Because I'm going to Philippines." And
To visit my friend Chris.
right. So he's asking me, where do you live? And I said, where are you going? And then we found out I'm about 5 minutes away from where,
Yeah, from where Chris lives.
yeah, where you're gonna stay. You know,
Yeah.
5-10 minutes with
Yeah,
my
yeah.
motorbike. So
I would have come visit you anyway, but I'm glad it's only 5 minutes away.
yeah, yeah. But that's the point. It's kind of coincidental.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
things,
it's amazing.
how things turn out in life. Yeah, and the other funny part is, I went to U.S. in May, June, and then I go to Sweden, and guess who is in Sweden? This guy visiting his mother. So
Small world.
small world, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's snowing. I live in Idaho. It's February, right? Are we in, no, we're in January still. You
Still January.
yeah, lose track of time in the Philippines.
Yeah.
But we got snow back home, so this is beautiful weather here. 80s, 90s.
Right. Yeah, here is, I would say, year-round temperature here. On the average, 83 to 87.
That's nice.
All the time. There's very little fluctuation. Rainy season, July, but this is perfect. It's a lovely place. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your comedy career.
Two beautiful kids. Love them to death, but we did decide we're not going to have any more. Actually, my wife decided she did not want to go through another birth, did not want to go through another pregnancy, so I was really, really excited the day that we decided that I needed a vasectomy. Thank you, ladies, for your support. Women have no fear with this procedure at all. Us guys is a little different. This is the center of our universe we're talking about. These are the two planets that everything else revolve around.
We mentioned yesterday when we were talking, the other video, that you've been doing this for 25 years.
25 plus years, yeah.
All right. How did it all get started?
I don't know. It's something I always wanted to do. Living in LA, there was a lot of opportunities to go up and do open mics, and we just started doing it. First time was at the Comedy Store on Sunset, and this is back in the days when it was easier to get on. There weren't that many people doing stand-up.
Right.
And they put me on my very first time on stage in front of 200 people at the Premier Comedy Club in LA, and I bombed horribly.
Yeah.
Horribly.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And
Did you get a lot of boos or?
No, it was just quiet. It was just
No laugh?
really quiet.
No.
And then the comedians sitting in the back of the room started heckling me.
Right.
That's how bad it was. That's how bad it makes me want to cry just thinking about it. And so I didn't do comedy then for 6 months after that experience. But it's in my blood, so eventually I went back to smaller rooms.
Right.
You know, I was starting in the biggest room in the business at the time.
Yeah, you probably felt a little audience intimidation.
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah. That's my first time on stage. I mean, and then, you know, hearing my voice over the mic booming, and I mean,
Right.
it was all new, and bright lights, so you couldn't see the audience. And,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's stuff like that you get used to over the years. But the first time up, it was a little.
It could get there. It takes time to be used on it. You know, when in the 80s, I traveled a little bit for some churches, right?
Right.
And a few times I was asked to go out and speak.
Right.
And in one instance, it was 15,000 people.
Whoa. Whoa.
So you feel a little,
Yeah.
who am I doing this
Right,
in
right.
front of all these people?
Right.
But I got used to that too.
You do get used to. If you want it bad enough, if you want to do bad enough, You get used to it.
Yeah, you do it.
So I've been doing it for a living now for 25 plus years.
Yeah.
And when I go back to the States, I'll be working some casinos in the Northwest, in Seattle, or Portland, Medford area.
Right. Oh yeah. By the way, you can get some of Leif's updates on his website, and we'll put his website up here.
Thank you.
LeifSkiving.com, and
But you got to know how to spell it.
yeah,
And it's
that's
not,
why I'm putting it up on
Right,
the screen,
right,
because
right.
they'll never get it right.
That's right.
Because
and it's not Leif.
no,
It's Leif.
yeah, it's Leif, and I guess that in English is pronounced Leif, right? If you're not Swedish.
If you pronounce it wrong, yeah.
If you're not Swedish. So we'll put that up for you so you have it. And then I've been telling Leif that he needs to start recording some of his shows when he is out, and we're gonna start putting up some clips here and there on his little YouTube channel. So you should go there and subscribe too. It's in he might be at the, I wouldn't say at the end of his career, but
End of my
But-
life.
well, no, come on.
I'm 90.
Hey.
Come on.
Yeah, but you're
I'm a young 90.
yeah, you're young now.
It's the new 90s is the new
All right,
80.
should we reveal our age?
Sure.
Leif is turning 64, if I got it right,
Yeah, February.
in February, and I'm turning 65 in May. So we are roughly 1 year apart, not quite, 10 months apart.
Yeah.
So, point is, when we say at the end of your life, Leif has lost his father, but his father was also up there. He was like 87 or 88.
No, I think he was going to be 86, I believe.
86?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I thought he was older. What year was he born? Do you know the year he was
Yes,
born?
I do. 1924.
He is born 10 years. No, 7 years before my father, his brother. And he is now turning, he's born 31, so he's turning 88.
88. Yeah, that's pretty good.
And your father, if he would have been alive, said he was born 24, right?
24, 7 years, that'd be 95.
He'd be 95, yeah.
Yeah. But
So-
anyway, so getting back to me and my career,
We're getting off topic. We're just having a chat, guys.
yeah. Yeah, as far as being at the end, if you've been doing anything for 25 years, I mean, that is a career. I mean, technically 20 years is a career. My son just joined the military, and he can retire with a pension after 20 years. So, but comedians can't retire with a pension, no matter how long you do it.
You mean it doesn't pay that well?
No, the pension doesn't pay that well.
So-
There's no pension, that's what I mean.
So that means that you do it out of passion,
You do it out of passion. Exactly.
not because of money.
Yeah, and that's a decision I had to make early on, because for one thing, I decided to live in Idaho, where I met my ex-wife, and we had 2 kids right away, and that's a great place to raise kids. But I was living in Las Vegas at the time, grew up in LA when we came from Sweden. Started comedy in LA and moved to Vegas, worked there, did a road trip and met my ex-wife, still very good friends, mother of my children, and met her at a show in Caldwell, Idaho, where I lived.
All right.
And just decided that, you know what, she said she'd move anywhere, but she had family there, and I'm on the road a lot, you know, and bringing the kids to LA was not a great idea, I thought. So,
Well, you had your family gathering up with you too. Your mom and dad actually moved up to Idaho.
Yeah, they did.
For a few years.
Yeah,
right?
they did. But anyway, the point is, I made a decision early on. Just it's a passion, and I do it because I enjoy it. And if I can't enjoy it, then don't do it. As opposed to being in LA and trying to make moves and get on a sitcom or which I wouldn't. I will still take the job if anybody's launching and wants to offer that. But I ended up doing a lot of being on the road a lot, and like I said, there's a lot of traveling involved, of being away from home, and I just had to decide this is what I really want to do, and I decided, yeah, and be happy with that,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, but it comes to a point. I was in the television industry. It comes to a point where I managed to do it for 12 years, I think.
Yeah.
But I was constantly on the road.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than you.
Oh yeah. No, I remember.
It was like 9 months out of the year I was never home.
Yeah. That's more than me. That was more than me.
And after 10, 12 years, I said, that's it. I'm done. Because kids grow up, everybody grows up, and you come home and you have a teenage boy with beard at home, and you didn't. Last you saw him, he was a little
this?
boy, you know.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So. I still travel and still do shows. So
Right.
A little more selective because I don't have kids to raise anymore. They're on their own, and I'm not married, so I just have one person to support.
Right. And that's yourself, yeah.
And that's me.
Yeah.
And I still love it. Still love what I do.
And you,
so.
You do corporate events too, right?
Mhm.
So if there's anybody out there, Leif has some good reviews on his corporate engagement.
On my website you can find all the reviews, all the letters of recommendation, and
Right.
things like that.
Right.
So I do everything from biker bars, to corporates, church groups.
Do you do Kurt Sutton in churches too?
No. I pick material appropriate for the venue.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Because I think that Kurt Sutton, he can be pretty rude.
Yeah.
But he makes people laugh.
Yeah.
He does.
He's over the top.
He's a little schizophrenic, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Here's my impression of my 14-year-old son getting his daily exercise. There's my 14-year-old son getting his daily workout. I wrote that. My daughter's 16. She just turned 16. She informed me that she wanted a car for her 16th birthday. Yeah, and she was very specific. She told me she wanted a good car, not a crappy car. So I was very specific and told her she needed to get a good job, but not a crappy job. She actually did get a job. I'm quite proud of her. Wanted to do something special for her 16th birthday, and she's a huge Lady Gaga fan, so I took her to Portland to see Lady Gaga for her 16th birthday, and which worked out good for me too, because I'm a huge Gaga fan too. I am. I think she's awesome, great artist. But I had no idea who her core fan base was until we got there. My daughter turns to me and says, "So, Dad, how many straight guys do you think there are here?" I'm looking around, there's like 10,000 people. I'm going, I don't know, 2? Me and that guy in the red dress over there? She's like, well, what makes you think he's straight? I said, well, I don't know, look at his makeup. I mean, that blush, I mean, that's not a natural pink. You should be using a yellow undertone, not red. It's obviously an autumn. If you knew anything about makeup, he'd have a mineralized skin finish to make his cheekbones pop. And that dress, it's nothing compared to mine.